Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as I give you guys video number 2 of 2 and you guys are here for that, so much appreciated. I do want to send you in the direction of video number 1 earlier today, which I'll leave right here. That was my match review for Newcastle 1, Chelsea 1 last night, as well as other talking points that did take place this morning, which I've compiled into that video, so head over there and check it out if you haven't already. A way to keep up with my videos is of course to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, as well as making sure you are on the socials, so links are in the description. They were just on screen for you as well. My Instagram, Twitter and TikTok links are in the description, so head over there now and follow for my more up-to-date bits of information, especially on Twitter as it all comes in, and then extra bits of content on Insta and TikTok, so make sure you guys are there for that. Now we got a big second video for you guys today, a big one. I mean big. Why? Because we finally have movement on Caicedo. We finally have a development. And yeah, guess what's happened? Guess what's happened? You wouldn't believe it. Brighton are being Brighton. We'll clarify the entire situation because I've got quite a bit to say about this. And I think now it's starting to look like Chelsea, one way or another, are going to get what they need. You're probably thinking, what? How? The odds are beginning to stack against Brighton. So this is why I was calling for patience. Things I hope are starting to piece themselves together. Let's get right to it. We've got tons to go through in relation to this Caicedo news. So let's start off with the exclusive that came from Fabrizio Romano earlier on this evening. Here it is. Exclusive! Chelsea have submitted new bids for Younes Caicedo in the last 24 hours. Understand Chelsea's new proposal was £80 million, 93 million euros, and it was immediately rejected by Brighton. Negotiations remain ongoing, but no agreement at this stage. That was Fabrizio. We then had David Ornstein clarify the situation and provide us a little bit more detail, so let's get into it. Here's what he had to say this evening as well. Chelsea today sent £80 million offer to Brighton for Younes Caicedo. Rejected instantly on email. Previous Chelsea bid 60 million, 65 million, 70 million. Brighton hope to keep 21-year-old, likely to take 100 million plus. He wants the move and personal terms are no issue. Athletic after Fabrizio. So that's the initial clarity that we have in relation to the bids. And I have to be honest here, Chelsea... the approach is, I understand the approach, but it was never going to work with Brighton. That's just the reality. 60, 65, 70. I understand testing the waters and starting low. Maybe dragging it out is what's going to get us the player for a lower fee than 100 million. But yeah, 60, 65, 70. I initially thought it would be 60, 70, 80. I didn't think we were working in 5s. I thought we were working in 10s. Anyway, that's why today we went in and put an 80. So we had 60, 65, 70, all rejected. Now we've got an 80. That's been rejected. We have to put a 5th bid in. The one indicator that Brighton are happy to sell, right? And they're waiting. And they know how hesitant Chelsea are paying 100, but they're still on the table. Why? You got to ask yourselves these questions. Why? Because a deal can be done. Chelsea are testing the waters and they're still in the negotiation. It would be very easy for Brighton right now, after 4 bids, to go, look, we're not interested. Get lost. Many clubs have done that before. If they see bid after bid after bid coming in, they just keep rejecting, but they still remain on the negotiating table, it means they have a limit. It means they have a threshold. And Chelsea are looking to identify that threshold. And they keep saying 100 mil, but they're not walking away. So let's wait and see. Now, David Ornstein provides us again with more detail. So here it is. Chelsea's 4th Younes Caicedo proposal to be turned down by Brighton was 75 million plus £5 million add-ons. Brighton do not want to sell despite midfielders' wish to go. Chelsea also considering alternative options, including Liverpool target Romeo Lavia. Okay, so here's the clarity. So we had 60, 65, 70. Now we're at 75 plus 5. We all know this is getting turned down. What are Chelsea playing? What are they trying to do here? I think they're trying to push it as far as possible to the point where time is no longer of the essence and Brighton are going to fold and take 80 or 85 million. Rather than just go 85 right now, knowing it'll get rejected. 85 will get rejected today. But if they wait a bit, this is why I said, sometimes you need to strategize what you're actually going to offer and you need to analyze and strategize the timeline too. You can't go all in too early. This is why I was saying a few videos ago, this is a poker game. And we are so far in, we can't fold. But we are so far in, we have to think carefully now. You can't just put all your cards on the table. You might have to keep bluffing and keep raising the stakes. You might have to. Even if your hand is good. Even if you think, oh no, I've got 4 kings. It can still be beat. But you have to play the long game. You bluff long enough and you try and take it long enough, the opposing party might fold. And then you win. This is a very complicated poker game. This is poker with chess, with checkers on top as a bonus. You know, this is crazy. So, very complicated negotiation. But why I say, and why I said at the beginning, Chelsea, I think it's starting to work in our favour. Why? I'm not just saying that because I want it to be. Obviously, I want it to be. I'm a Chelsea fan. I want Caicedo. But when I think logically, from a business perspective, right? Chelsea stature and Brighton stature. What Chelsea need, what Brighton need. What Chelsea could do with and what Brighton could do with. I think if it came down to it, Brighton would give up Caicedo for just under 100. Not a problem. They would accept if they had to. Now, are they happy to just keep the player? Of course they would. But there's a sticky situation. Now, we referenced Romeo Lavia. We're going to come to Romeo Lavia in a little bit. But let's get to what Ben Jacobs has had to say in regards to the player now. Caicedo, it's time to reference Caicedo himself. Let's get into it. Chelsea's latest £80 million bid for Moises Caicedo has been rejected, as Fabrizio Romano called. Caicedo camp now considering their position. There remains a sense of disbelief that a club record transfer sell fee hasn't been accepted, especially now Chelsea have gone up to 80 million. So this is where we have to turn to the player. So what has David Ornstein said about the player himself? Let's check it out. Moises Caicedo is determined to get a move to Chelsea. We have more coming from Tom Roddy as well. Chelsea are considering upping their offer for Caicedo, but are wary of overpaying. On top of that, we have from Sasha Tavrolieri, Caicedo remains a priority, but Joe Shields has pressed and will press in the coming hours for Romeo Lavia, although he is leaning towards Liverpool. So we've got 2 things that we've learned in that last bit of info that I've given you. Caicedo and his camp might now be prepared to act, and I can't stress this enough. They have to. We are now at a point now where Caicedo needs to take action. Hand in the transfer request, Caicedo. It's time. Caicedo wants the move. His camp know they want the move. His camp are shocked that Brighton are turning this down. This could get sticky for Brighton and for Caicedo. Together. I'm talking amongst themselves. Imagine Caicedo just sticks around and knows that a move to Chelsea was there, but his club denied him. He wants the move. Personal terms, not a problem. Done. Dusted. But they keep turning these bids down. If Caicedo now takes matters into his own hands, like it's been said that his camp are now considering, hand in that transfer request, Brighton will be forced to act. So that's point number 1. That goes in Chelsea's favour. Because I know some people are hesitant about how a transfer request actually works. A transfer request is the player telling the club, I want out. What that does, there is always 2 sides to a story. You might keep the player, refuse the transfer request, keep the player, and the player might stay professional. The player might go, I don't mind staying, but I want better. But I don't mind staying, but more times than not, and this is where the risk is and where the clubs don't take the risk, is if you refuse the request and you keep the player, he's just going to cause turmoil. He doesn't want to be there. He hates his job. He's not going to give you 100%. He just does not want to be there. He knows that you don't want him there. It just gets toxic, and it can affect the dressing room. It can affect the camp. It can split the team. It can have so many knock-on effects into the season that clubs always look at a transfer request and go, okay, fair enough. We'll let you go. We'll go and find another replacement. We'll let you go though, because it's not worth the risk. It's simply not worth having someone that can turn the the dressing room, toxic. So that's point number one that works in Chelsea's favour if Caicedo hands in a transfer request, because Brighton will then be looking at 80 or 85 million and going, we might have to consider. The player has handed in a request, we might have to consider this. Imagine if Chelsea walk away and then all of a sudden he's stuck and he doesn't want to be here, and we know that we could have let him go earlier and he's probably going to be, stubborn or toxic towards us. It's a risk. The whole thing's a risk. So that's one. Two, Chelsea have now made it public that there's an alternative. And the one key thing about any business deal is that you have to be prepared to show the other person that you're happy to walk away. That's negotiating power. You always have to show that you're happy to walk away. If you don't show that, you'll get walked all over. So Chelsea now taking action with Romeo Lavia and putting the foundation in place just in case. If they know they have to go for Lavia, they will. So here's the latest in relation to Lavia. This is what I just showed you in relation to Sasha Tagliafieri and what he had to say. Here is the extended version from the man himself, saying despite Chelsea and now famous Joe Shields last minute pressing that we anticipated already yesterday, and that will be even more intensive in the coming hours due to Caicedo's case, who remains the priority, Liverpool continued to advance on Romeo Lavia with Southampton today, still leaning towards Liverpool. The plan presented by Liverpool convinced the Belgian midfielder and his entourage. European football also a key. Human aspects in the sports project are fundamentals with Lavia's family, who are very conscious and reasonable people. A reversal of fortune seems unlikely, but this situation could well enable the Saints to obtain the £50 million package they are looking for. This is exactly what it's done now, because Chelsea, I think, would be happy to end up raising the stakes on this Lavia deal compared to Liverpool. Liverpool have offered a £45 million package. 42 and a half plus 2.5 add-ons. Chelsea could come in now and go, okay, here's 50. What are we saying? And Southampton will be like, absolutely, a bidding war, thank you very much. They're in the Championship. They would love a bidding war right now. So this is where Chelsea are always still in the race for Lavia. And Brighton know that. But Brighton know that if Chelsea turned away and went for Lavia, the Caicedo deal is dead. Brighton don't take a penny and are stuck with a player that does not want to be there. This is the risk for Brighton. This is point number two as to why I see things now leaning in Chelsea's favour strategically. So, now we have the Romeo Lavia information. Here's Fraser Fletcher with more info on Lavia. I've been covering Lavia for a long time, and as stated before, Chelsea have done a lot of groundwork. Liverpool in a strong position, but Joe Shields has been pushing, and Chelsea could hijack the deal late as Caicedo talks stall. Now, we have to understand one thing about Romeo Lavia, is that Joe Shields was the one that took him to City. Joe Shields was the one that took him to Southampton. Joe Shields is now the one that wants to bring him to Chelsea at the event that we are going to turn away from Caicedo. And Chelsea are going to keep their cards close to their chests and not let anyone know. And who knows, if we really do decide we're switching off from Caicedo, they will be pursuing Lavia within 24 hours at a very aggressive pace. Here's 50 million, boom, let's talk to the player. Joe Shields on the phone, listen, my man, we've been together for quite some time. We were together at City, at Southampton. What do you say? We want you. And that could change. Liverpool need to act fast. Liverpool need to act very quickly now because it's a risk. If they don't, at the same time, the ball's not really in their court. The ball's in Southampton's court. Southampton can easily go, you know what, we'll wait. Yeah, Liverpool have bidded. Okay, we were going to move with the deal, but we'll wait now. Because we might get a bid coming in very soon. They have to wait and see how this Caicedo thing is going to end up. They have to wait and see what Chelsea are going to do, because Joe Shields has been making moves and Chelsea are happy to pay more than what Liverpool have offered. So now Liverpool either have the option to up the bid to 50 and get this done ASAP, or don't pay 50 and risk the whole thing collapsing. So this is where Chelsea, point number two, have an advantage shifting over to them. Now, point number three. There is a three. Let's get to it. Because Brighton want a certain player, I've been reading. I wonder who. Who is it that Brighton want? Okay, let's get to it. Here it is. Brighton remain absolutely interested in Mohamed Kudus, but can only go in to sign him if they sell a player such as Moises Caicedo, where a deal with Chelsea is still on. Okay. So, Another reason why this has gone in Chelsea's favour. Oh, so you need to sell to afford Kudus. But we want Kudus. So we want Caicedo and Kudus. So we want to take both. But Chelsea could use that as leverage because we have other targets. Brighton don't. We have Olise as a target. We have Shirky as a target if we really wanted to go completely in. And the news was always the case that after Caicedo was done, we will go and pursue other players. So we're not even sure how Shirky, Olise, Kudus is going to end up until we resolve this Caicedo deal. Now, you want Kudus, but you need to sell Caicedo. All right, leverage to us. If we get Caicedo off you, we won't buy Kudus. There you are. What do you say, Brighton? You want Kudus? Not a problem. Give us Caicedo for a fairer price, and we won't pursue Kudus. We will leave him free. Your path is clear to go and get Kudus. We won't take the player because Kudus is happy to come to Chelsea. Ajax are already talking with Chelsea. We've got this done if we want it to be done. But Brighton want him. Okay, not a problem. You know what? Give us Caicedo. Bring your terms a bit down. And as part of the deal, we will stand away from Kudus. You can have him. That's another tactic that Chelsea could use. That's point number 3 as to why things are beginning to steer in Chelsea's direction. This is why I said patience, people. Patience, patience. Patience is a virtue. Patience kicks in and eventually you reap the rewards. Eventually you see the fruits. And then you enjoy. You can take them off the tree and start eating. But you need to give it time for the fruits to appear. So we'll see how this saga is going to end up. But I like the fact that we finally have an update. And what seems crazy from Chelsea's perspective of really taking it slow in terms of the bid could end up the catalyst for us actually getting Caicedo for a deal that we want. Now, I have to stress, on the contrary, Chelsea need to walk away if Brighton are not even going to accept 90 million. If it gets to a point, look, we've offered 75 plus 5, right? The next deal, next offer should be 80 plus 5. 80 million plus 5. Right? As add-ons. If that doesn't work, 80 plus 10 as add-ons. If they don't accept a £90 million package, walk away. I'm saying that now. Walk away. Go and get Lavia. At that point, I'll be happy. Chelsea needs to maintain that they will not fold. They have to. In the long run, that is what's going to help Chelsea. If Chelsea, look, this is why I'm saying, if Chelsea end up getting him for 90 million, some people are going to say, but 90 is just 10 less than 100. We might as well just bid 100. Wrong. Because it will always stick. If we get him for 90, it's not about the 10 million. It's about the fact that others will look at that and go, wow, Chelsea actually got the deal they wanted. Boom, that's it. That's the sticking point we want. It's nailed in. We want to create the reputation that we will not give in to others' demands. We will get what we want. Even if it's 10 million, but we didn't pay 100. That's the point. That's the whole point. We're not going to pay 100. We'll pay 90, get Brighton to accept. If it's even just a little bit less than 100, but we didn't pay 100. That's the point that we need to get out there to the rest. That's the message we need to send. We do that, we begin to shift the reputation and clubs will begin to know they can't mess about with us. That's the first step that we need to take. So this is why I'm saying, if it came to it and they refuse a £90 million package, walk away. Go and get Lavia. And I'll be happy with Lavia. If it really came down to it, that's just life. Sometimes you don't get what you want, but you have to be prepared to walk away. We get Lavia, I will take Lavia. That's the second option on the table. Happily, we'll take Lavia. Not a problem. So that is how I see it. Let me know your thoughts down below in relation to this entire saga. And let's move before we close the video. As I've said, your whole comments, your whole thoughts on this entire madness that occurred tonight, let me know down below. Much appreciated. And I'll interact with a few of you. Now, let's get to other news. Callum Hudson-Odoi, latest on him. Here it is. Understand Fulham have made verbal proposal for Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's around £4 million fee. Chelsea want £8 million fee. Negotiations are advanced. Fulham confident to get the deal done in the next days. Fulham, just pay £8 million, man. Listen, you're run by Tony Khan. Tony Khan owns AEW. I've seen how much AEW has grown. Pay the 8 mil. You've got 8 mil, pay it. We're not offering 100. We're not Brighton. So, listen, pay the 8 mil. If not, because, look, here's the thing, yeah? because you're our next door neighbours, because you're down the road, we'll be gentle. We'll call it 7. How's that? That's what I honestly wouldn't mind. 7 million to Fulham, Hudson-Odoi get some football, why not? But there's still Lazio on the table. So this is why we need to be careful. If Lazio are going to come in, I would rather him go to Lazio. So be nice to see him with Sarri and in Serie A. So that's the latest on Hudson-Odoi. And to wrap up, this is actually big news coming out of Saudi. From L'Equipe, here it is. But could this be a tactic, a diverting tactic? Here it is. Al Hilal are positioning themselves to make a huge move for Napoli and Nigeria striker Victor Osimhen. Now, I think this is Al Hilal trying to stick a smokescreen out there to make it look like, to Mbappe, that we will walk away from you. This is the point that I was mentioning. You have to send the message out to the other people that I'm going to walk away. And you're not going to get anything. So, what are you saying? This could be Al Hilal's moment of that, because if they walk away, it could be Mbappe getting second thoughts in his head going, oh man, no, you know what, no, hang on, wait, 700 million a year is mad. And then eventually you begin to pull him in. You know, this is like, it's Wolf of Wall Street. You know, this, you remember this call on Wolves of Wall Street where eventually you reap him in slowly but surely. You convince, you put your clothes out there, it doesn't work. Okay, little bit more, and then you close. This is it. This is life. This is the nature of sales. This is the nature of business. This is how it works. So I don't actually think Al Hilal are going for Osimhen. I think this is a way to just get it out to Mbappe that we will move on from you. So what are you saying? What's your final decision? But like I said, wait until after August 1st, because I'm sure Mbappe wants 60 million just given to him like that for your loyalty bonus. So we'll see how that's going to pan out, and I think he'll get it. After that, we might be seeing moves. So let's wait and see in this whole Mbappe saga. But I have to stress, Al Hilal do have the facilities, and if it does come to it, that Mbappe actually decides to refuse him, then I think Al Hilal would actually make a move for Osimhen, because he is the next big guy to go for in European football. Right now, he is. You're not going to get Haaland or anyone like that, so you might as well turn to someone that is actually achievable, and Napoli have already stated they will sell if the money is mad. If it's 150 million, they will sell. Al Hilal will do that, not a problem. So, yeah, let's wait and see how this saga is going to turn out. Let me know your thoughts down below, and there we are. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your attention. Make sure you are here tomorrow for a couple of new ones, and the only way to be notified for that is by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. To make sure you are here. 2 videos tomorrow, 1 in the morning, 1 at night, and we'll get to the latest in terms of what's happening throughout the day, so make sure you guys are here. Check out the socials, Insta at Younes Talks Football, Twitter at Talks Football, and TikTok at Younes Talks Football. My personal socials are also on those, so you can check it out at Younes Talks on basically all platforms. Go onto each one and you'll be able to see my personal accounts too. So you can follow on those, as well as my second channel content, Younes Talks, link in the description. New video dropping there tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. See you lot then. Have a good one. Take care and peace.